You're in a normal conversation. The room is completely calm, and then a backhanded comment lands in your lap. A quiet dig at your work, a subtle jab at your ambition, or a joke that carries a very specific, sharp edge. Your pulse spikes. Your immediate instinct, the default setting for almost everyone, is to fire back. You want to defend your position, correct the record, or explain why they are wrong. Disrespect operates as a deliberate, calculated test of your boundaries. Aggressors use these small moments as probes. They push a tiny bit of tension into the air, and then they watch your eyes. They are measuring your limits, calculating exactly how much of your space they are allowed to take. The casual insult serves as a quiet intelligence operation. It functions as a data-gathering mission designed to map your psychological weak points before you even realize you are on trial. And this is where the trap snaps shut. The exact second you open your mouth to defend yourself against that probe, you have already lost the exchange. Rushing to explain your side to an aggressor constitutes submission dressed up as intelligence. Niccolò Machiavelli observed this dynamic centuries ago. He noted that power naturally flows away from the loud and the overly defensive and gravitates toward the man who remains entirely unreadable. By reacting, you hand over undeniable proof that their words got under your skin. You are telling them that their opinion matters enough to hijack your nervous system and force your tongue to move. Every sentence you offer in self-defense validates their right to judge you in the first place. You confirm they have reached you. The first countermeasure to this is premeditative silence. Not the silence of fear or confusion, but the cold, flat silence of a mind that has already made its decision. To see why this works, look at the architecture of a conversation. The human brain operates as a prediction machine. When an attacker sends an insult, a probe, their brain demands a specific emotional return. They anticipate the impact. But when that expected output is met with a complete, unreadable void, an intense psychological short circuit occurs. The impact they braced for simply never arrives. Stripped of control and starved of data, the aggressor's brain starts to glitch. Without a reaction to fight against, they are forced to mentally replay their own words and hear exactly how small they sounded. By deliberately withholding information, you force the attacker to drown in the uncomfortable echo of their own unreciprocated noise. Weaponized silence requires a total shutdown of the body's involuntary leaks. If your jaw tightens, your breathing catches, or your pupil dilates for a fraction of a second, the other person sees it. That physical reaction provides the blood in the water. To neutralize this physical leak, you run a specific tactical protocol. When the insult lands, breathe slowly, as if their words lack oxygen. Hold a flat gaze like you are watching a fly, and let your hands rest completely open. Successfully neutralizing these physical signals requires a strict rewiring of how your nervous system processes external noise. You have to kill the emotional reaction before it even forms, turning your face into a blank wall that completely severs their data supply. To accomplish that level of stillness, you must shift your internal cognitive framing. You learn to strip the emotional meaning away from the attacker's words and process them strictly as raw data. When you analyze the data closely, you find that every insult functions as a specific, accidental confession of the attacker's own deep-seated fears and insecurities. The person mocking your ambition reveals their terror regarding their own stagnation. The coworker who belittles your quiet composure demonstrates that they are unsettled by the constant, unmanageable noise in their own head. A strategist watches the attacker perform, gathering all of this invaluable intelligence without ever burning a single calorie to fight back. Processing an attack as an intelligence report ensures the aggressor unwittingly hands you a perfect, detailed map to their own psychological weaknesses. For those who are persistently toxic, silence eventually transitions into the next phase of control, a complete, surgical withdrawal of your physical presence. Attention is oxygen. Every single moment you spend reacting, arguing, or simply existing in a disrespectful person's radius keeps their authority alive in your ecosystem. You do not announce your departure. you simply thin yourself out of their life like smoke leaving a room. You answer slower, you appear less, and you leave them grasping at empty air where you used to be. Human psychology dictates that we do not value what is constantly available. Absence, when executed with precision, compels the world to lean toward you instead of taking you for granted. The Machiavellian observer eventually reaches a final state. Power comes from elevating yourself out of the reach of your critics. You pour your focus into building your wealth, your craft, and your mind. You raise your trajectory so high that their insults become structurally impossible. A mountain does not notice when someone throws a stone. You arrive at a point where you move through the world detached from the currency of other people's approval. Their validation buys nothing in your economy. True, lasting respect is quietly, inevitably surrendered to the mind the world cannot predict.